distributed it to the BBC and the CNN, and that's why they got the announcement of Building 7 20 minutes early, and in the case of CNN, an hour early. Anyway, we'll play cut 8 on that DVD, and it starts out showing the BBC reporting it 20 minutes early. They reported it at 5 p.m. and the building fell at 5:20. So this is a really good reminder of how the propaganda system worked, but they blew it.
The towers fall onto it. However, this building disintegrated on September 11th.
More on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago I was talking about
Building number 7 at the World Trade Center was a 47-story building with a steel frame. No airplane crashed into it, nor did the towers fall onto it. However, this building disintegrated on September 11th.
more on the latest building collapse in New York. You might have heard a few moments ago I was talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. Apparently that's only a few hundred yards away from where the World Trade Center towers were. And it seems that this was not a result of a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attacks. We'll probably find out more now about that from our correspondent, Jane Stanley. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know, but New York very much a city still in chaos. The phones are not working properly, the subway lines are not working.
July 24th, 2001, Larry A. Silverstein, who already owned World Trade Center 7, signs a $3.2 billion 99-year lease on the entire World Trade Center complex 6 weeks before 9/11. Included in the lease is a $3.5 billion insurance policy, specifically covering acts of terrorism.
PBS has a documentary called America Rebuilds, in which Larry Silverstein, the landlord of Building 7, explains what happened.
I remember getting a call from the fire department commander telling me that they were not sure they were going to be able to contain the fire. And I said, you know, we've had such terrible loss of life. Maybe the smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
Ta-da! Okay, I'm back. We ended that. Well, it ended itself, but anyway, we were going to end it anyway. We have a caller. That's what I'm trying to say. So go ahead and put the caller on. Yeah, turn down your TV in the background, please.
All right. How's that?
Yeah, there you go. Now go ahead and what were you saying when I answered this caller when he called during the clip?
You know, they claimed that the plane went down in Pennsylvania with all these people on it, yet they didn't find no luggage, no nothing that belonged to anybody, and they can't find the plane nor the black box. What is our government trying to tell us that happened to it?
Well, kind of playing down the stories of the debris field that was spread over, depending on the report, from 3 to 8 miles of debris, and that's simply an indicator that the plane blew up in midair. But what they're saying, you know, the official story is that the plane crashed into real good, you know, just they could have hit anywhere in the field, but they hit right on the opening of a mine that was already dug. And the plane and all of its debris went down that mine shaft. The wings folded up and went down with it. You know, the engines and everything went down that mine shaft. And by golly, once you put a plane in a mine shaft, it's beyond our technology to get it back. Don't you know that? God, I can't believe it. You saying the official story makes me sound like an idiot.
Right. And okay, the plane that hit the Pentagon, okay that the hole was smaller than the plane. Maybe you could make me believe that, but what happened to the plane?
Well, it hit with such force that all of the metal was vaporized, including the titanium.
Vaporized.
I can't say it without laughing, but that's what they want you to believe.
You know, all the planes in the war can be accounted for and know where they are, but this plane that hit the Pentagon vaporized?
Like I said, every other plane that's ever had an accident, they find all the parts, put it back together to analyze it, but not this time.
And how come they won't prove it with the video that was shot from across the street in the gas station?
I don't know. You know, you know, the sinister side of me said, well, like I said earlier, that they're waiting for everybody to really get firmly set on the idea no plane hit the Pentagon. Then they'll bring out a picture of a plane hitting the Pentagon, whether it was the actual same plane or not. We don't know, but you know,
well, it shows in one of my DVDs. It shows where the plane supposedly had blown up and everything, left that gaping hole. Yet there was a stool with a telephone book on it and some office papers and everything that didn't get burned up, but it vaporized the plane.
Yeah, right. I thought that was interesting. The phone book doesn't singe, but the plane vaporizes. That's interesting. Also, you remember the tower? One of the planes hit the tower, and shortly after that, a lady was seen standing in the hole, leaning on one of the beams there that's supposed to be so superheated.
Right. Right.
Well, we've got about 50 seconds before we go off the air here. Thank you for calling, caller.
Okay.
And our next show's in 2 weeks. And by the way, anybody want to come down to the studio and watch the show live? Come on down. It's just be down here by 4 o'clock. That's at 2766 Northeast MLK next week. We or not next week, on the week of the Saturday the 19th, 2 weeks from today. And anyway, we're beginning to roll the credits behind me, I see. There they go. Okay, June 19th is the next one. And you can contact me by email at 251omega@comcast.net. And we're going off the air now, but you can watch this on YouTube and Blip.